Hi, everyone, and welcome to my monthly uh, month in review kind of energy catch up, if you will, if that's a thing. And what I really wanted to sort of look at right now was the of what is happening in the world right now, what is happening with our emotions at the moment, what is happening with our sense of well-being, and really just what people have been coming to me talking about this month, which seems to be a real sense of um, feeling overwhelmed, feeling a little of sort, quite anxious. People are really quite anxious. So I have done a meditation today on iron pyrite, which helps with all of that. But I sort of had to reflect in myself and just really think about, well, how is that affecting me? Where am I this month? And I have to say that for me, I did start the month a little bit like that, a little bit sort of intense, feeling a little bit anxious about things that were beyond my control, to be honest. And so I had to really think about, well, what are you doing? You're sort of tying yourself up in knots. You're creating anxiety. You're creating fear that may or may not be, justified. It may or may not be real. And so I had to really just get a grip. I had to just sort of come into myself and go, look, Phil, let's just stop this process. And what that led me to do was to surrender. I just had to surrender. I had to stop pushing water up a hill, which is an effortless and futile exercise. So we're back to the whole Abraham Hicks thing, that where she talks about pushing water up a hill. We've got to go with the flow. It can't all be about water going up a hill because we're not going to get anywhere. And so I just had to embrace surrender. I just had to let go. I had to surrender to what was happening that I could control and let go of everything that I couldn't control. And for me, that was just a really amazing reminder that when we do let go, when we surrender to the universe has this amazing way of actually supporting us. We allow the support to come in that we need. Because whilst we're fighting and trying to control everything and we're pushing our energy out there, we're not getting the support that we need. And so when we surrender to a process, the universe can go, right. So they're open to anything and everything now. We can get in there. We can support them. We know how to support them. And from that perspective, I think it's a really important lesson to remind ourselves that when we do reflect and when we are in the right space, we have everything we need at our fingertips. We have everything that we need at our fingertips, and we don't need to keep pushing water up a hill. I think for some people, though, they think that when we do surrender, when we just let go of all our stresses and our worries and our woes, that it's a weakness, that we're not working hard enough, that we're not putting an effort in, that we're being lazy. But actually, it's the pole opposite, because when we surrender, we open ourselves up to the most amazing opportunities that we miss when we're so stressed and so encapsulated by our worries that in missing those opportunities, we actually put ourselves in a darker place, or we dig a deeper hole. But when we surrender and when we just go, okay, universe, you know what I need. I'm just going to be here. I want you to bring that energy in when you can. And then our world starts to expand again. We see those coincidences, those chance conversations, those alignments start to occur. And when that starts to happen, we're back in the flow. And that has been my month, I have to say, by surrendering to my set of circumstances, by not pushing too hard, trying to cram everything into the shape that I wanted it to be, it's actually become something quite effortless. And I think that in that state of allowing and accepting, then the clarity comes. Then the clarity comes, because sometimes we're trying to create situations or push situations in such a way that we lose focus, we become single-minded, we become over-focused on particular parts of our life whilst ignoring the rest of our life, when actually we need to be aware of everything in our life. And so when we surrender, then we have a more spatial view, a lateral view of what's going on in our life rather than a literal view of what's happening right now or not happening right now. And then we get into this state of panic and fear. I think the word surrender is a lovely word. And I think it's a word that has a sense of comfort in it. It has a sense of peacefulness in it. It has a sense of relaxation around it, hence my cheeky thumbnail for today's video. I thought I'd, excuse me, have a funny cat, have a funny cat, excuse me. Just surrendering with the cucumber on the eyes there, because I think, it's not a case of hands up, surrendering and throwing in the towel, but it is just a point of just, the body just needs to relax and just surrender to what's going on. And I think that what I've found with this month is I've enjoyed it better. Because I have surrendered and just handed it over to the universe, I've enjoyed this month better. Where it started off really hyper stressful, because we have some big events happening this month in our life. I just overstressed about all that, overcomplicated my life, just overdid things. But now I'm looking forward to this big event. It's happening next week. It will be whatever it's going to be. So I'm surrendering to that process as well. I'm feeling much calmer, more collected. I'm feeling ready. I'm feeling that I have the right appropriate energy and attitude towards this event. And I think that's what happens when we do surrender. We need to take time out from just constantly pushing all of the time and allow the universe to assist us and support us. And when we do that, we just get the most amazing surprises. I've had quite a few surprises, events or situations that I'd actually just thought, oh, well, that's never going to resolve. And then suddenly a resolution comes in out of nowhere, I have to say, which is really pleasant. So stop pushing, oh, well, why is that not happening? Where's that gone? Why are they not talking? Why am I not getting any feedback? Why? And then I surrendered. And then out of the blue, even this lovely, lovely girl called Gemma in Barrington Shopping Mall, even she was surprised. She went, oh my goodness, Phyllis, we've got this resolution for you, because we'd all given up hope. And that was really lovely. When we have these surprises, the universe is constantly working on our behalf, and we forget that. I think we get trapped into our own mind that nothing's working. Life is too hard. It's so difficult. I'm really stressed. But we forget that actually the universe is working on our behalf all of the time. We just need to allow it to do its own thing in its own time, which may not necessarily be our time or what we think is the right time. So it's been a really interesting month. And for quite a few of my clients, I've been really busy with clients because I've opened up my home clinic, and it's been wonderful to see clients that I haven't seen for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. To see them coming back in just for that physical connection with me, and new clients coming in to have a physical reading, a physical session. It's been really interesting. watching them as they process through a personal session with me and have those realizations and realize that actually they don't need to try too hard and they don't need to stress too much. They can just surrender to the universe. So that is what October has been. It's been a really life-changing month for people on lots of ways, even sad ways, with a lovely acquaintance passing over very quickly. And, it's been a time of reflection. We're almost at the end of 2026. And I feel, 2025, and I feel that there is a process where we need to think about how we're going to finish the end of the year. What does that look like for us? How are we going to prepare for the new year, which I think it might be the horse. I think it's the year of the horse next year. Very different energy from the snake. We're seeing the snake in all manners, whether it's shedding skin and starting afresh, whether it's the venomous, poisonous processes that we're seeing in the political world out there. All the vipers are coming up, and we're seeing that toxicity that is out there being shown, revealing itself. So there's a positive and a negative to that sort of revelations that we're having for ourselves, and then we manage and monitor our own behavior, and that's part of that surrender thing as well. So the year of the snake has been indeed a slippery one, a really difficult one for us to deal with on an emotional, mental level. But the year of the horse is more solid. Horsepower is coming in. So my horsey friends will be absolutely delighted with that. I think it's a green horse. So I think it's new roots, new power, new feelings of power, new power plays, new people in power, I would say as well, coming in. So we have a big year coming in 2026 as we move through the remnants of 2025. And what does that look like for you? What are you planning for the new year? Have you even started planning for the new year? I don't know. I know I have. I know Michael has. And we're really excited with what we've decided and the decisions that we're making. So we've got lots going on, as you know, lots going on. I just completed my iron pyrite. I've been sitting playing with iron pyrite cubes here on my desk. So if you're hearing that rustling noise, I do apologize. It's just me clonking these little cubes together. Aren't they awesome? They're so adorable. So just finished that meditation, monthly meditation. We've got one left, which is the rainbow aura quartz. And that is a high spiritual connection. November, we're coming into that Christmas period of time. The angels are there, the veils are thinner as we come to that point where globally people are celebrating the birth of Jesus. Christianity is out there in all shapes and forms. Angels are everywhere, be it in shops, Christmas lights, singing choirs. The angelic energy is going to be everywhere. And so the rainbow aura quartz is a wonderful meditation. If you can, come and join me in that one. I'm going to change it to a nighttime meditation rather than 11 o'clock on a Sunday, but it will still be on a Sunday. So I will change it to 7 or 7:30. So stay posted for that one. And we've also got our promotion. We're going to do a promotion between myself and the wonderful team at Melia Marketing. We're going to do a little bit of promotion on my courses. Those are both the physical courses and the online courses. So if you want to bag a bargain by joining the online video courses, you can do that now. If you want to bag a bargain and book a course for next year at a discounted rate, then you're more than welcome to find that on my website. There will be a newsletter coming out to prompt everyone for the Black Friday special. So I'm going to join the rest of the world in promoting a Black Friday discounted sale. So it's all excitement, it's all go at my end. I hope for you guys, you are taking care of yourself. We get to October and we're all pretty tired, and we're really feeling depleted. I think for us here in New Zealand, we're just longing for extended periods of sun. We've been in the darkness in our winter months for quite some time, and our spring is no exception. It is very much spring-like weather, where it's torrential rain, howling winds, dark clouds with the odd day of sunshine. It's a real mixture. But I definitely feel in New Zealand, we are desperately seeking some sunshine to top up our vitamin D, get out and about, be in nature, be at one with nature. And just before I wrap up, I had the wonderful experience of having a weekend away with a very, very dear friend of mine. We'd always said that on our 60th birthday, we would have a weekend away, and we never quite got there. And we're 61 now, and we finally had our weekend, our girly weekend away. And we went to the wonderful Hamner Springs. We were very blessed to be given the use of an amazing home. And we sort of soaked in the hot pools and just sat underneath the redwood trees in Hamner, walked through the oak grove in the middle of town. But what we did do was that inner child thing. And when my inner child comes out, I'm very, very spontaneous, which is a shame I haven't actually brought it with me. But we went to the local market and I bought a tiger hat with little ears. I think it's a leopard hat, a snow leopard. It's white with little black blobs and white fluffy ears. And I insisted on buying a leopard hat for my friend, who was, I think, a bit mortified, because when my inner child comes out, I can't repress it. I get really excited. And so I had to buy these cat hats. So I bought these cat hats, but our inner child, I again said, we have to go to the fairy forest. And we had the most delightful time walking through the fairy forest, the fairy door forest, actually, in Hamner Springs. For New Zealanders who are here, you maybe want to go and check it out. It's only a half-hour walk. For anyone that's coming to New Zealand and going to Hamner Springs, you should go. It is just delightful. It's delightful to hear the children. It just running around with joy, opening all the doors, seeing the creative energy, the inner child energy of all these wonderful children who have created the fairy doors. For Angela and I, we snapped up some pictures and were scrutinizing them for fairies. And I definitely have one picture where there's definitely seems to be some fairies in there. So your inner child, surrender. I'm got back to my topic, actually. Surrendering to your inner child is a really healthy thing to do. We get so stuck in our adulthood and so stuck in being proper and being contained and being measured. But actually, it was just a really awesome time to be childlike once again by buying these hats. So I've got my winter hat for next year. And I certainly have lots of fond memories of the fairy forest, which I will drag my husband to the next time we're up there, to go and talk to the fairies. So surrendering to you as a person is important. Don't repress your personality for too long, because it would be a shame. It would be a shame if you lost your personality, if you lost that childlike wonderment. So yeah, surrender to your inner child every now and then. It is just a wonderful experience. And us two oldies, our two 61-year-olds, sneaking around, trying to catch a fairy, talking to them, repairing the little displays, and just being childlike. It was just the most amazing thing. So surrender, surrender, surrender. Surrender to who you are, what you want to be, where you want to be, and the universe will absolutely come and play with you. So enjoy the rest of what's left of October, and we'll see you in November, either on the meditation or as part of our video blog here on YouTube. Bye for now.